Yeah.
I don't see it.
And it doesn't even have.
Test. All right. One of those professional things to do. I can get your attention, please. It's 6 p.m. We want to get started. I just want to make everyone aware the building closes at 8:30. So we're gonna have to shut the hearing down probably around 8:15. So that means we got to get through the comments quickly as we can. Want to give everyone an opportunity to speak. If any chance we don't get through to all the comments, there is still going to be an opportunity to file your comment online, or you can just write your comment up on the appearance slip and hand it back to us. But we've got a pretty big number already of 13 comments and more coming. So I think she's 11. Oh. So we do want to get started as fast as we can. So just want to welcome you all. This is document 5UR110, the joint application of Wisconsin Electric Power Company and Wisconsin Gas LLC to adjust electric, natural gas, and steam rates. My name is Michael Newmark. I'm the administrative law judge for the PSC. And we also have two commissioners here, Commissioner Chair Bach and Commissioner Heber. They're here, and we do have three commissioners that run the agency, Commissioner Nowak as well. What we're doing here today is we're collecting public comments. I'm sure you know that. We want to get the public's opinion on this case. And what we're doing is we're creating a transcript of this hearing, and that's the document that the commissioners will read in their official capacity, along with all the other documentation that's been collected, that we've collected so far. We've been dealing with this case since about April, when the utility applied. It's gone through a lot of checks and evaluation by commission staff and also by other parties who've intervened in the case. So commission has not only has attorneys and commissioners, but has experts, professionals who evaluate such things as the costs that are being applied for that the utility is seeking to recover. So we have auditors, we have people, experts in accounting and engineers and other experts to try to look at this from an independent perspective. Then the parties as well join in the case, and they have a particular perspective on the case, and they try to advocate for their constituency on those aspects of the application. So commission brings all that together and then evaluates all the documentation and makes a decision on the issues in the case. So they'll get a kind of a document that shows all the questions that they need to answer. And an open meeting, they all meet together, the three of them meet together, and they vote on each issue. And then when the results come in, we'll create a written order that'll describe what the commission decided and set the rates going forward based on that order. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now. So the comment process is of course here live right now. We also will be continuing to accept written comments up until November 7th. That's Monday. And there's a way to do that on the commission's website. An easy way to get to that is just by scanning this QR code that's on your form. There's also the list of the URL is also listed there. So if you want to just if you want to file a written comment, just grab one of these forms. You can get to our website. Also, we take comments by US mail, and you can hand in a comment in writing today. So those are the ways you can comment. And the process is I'll call your name. I got the appearance slips numbered now. So like I mentioned before, I'll call your name in the order we got them. Come up to the chair here, have a seat. I'll swear you in and give us your comment, your opinion on the case. So that's kind of the basic process here. And we're going to start. So our first person here is Jim Fretschitz. I think it looks like P-R-E-T-S-C-H. H, okay. I would never have gotten that in a million years. Apologize for that. So have a seat, please. Sure. And we'll give you the microphone in a sec, but you want to be able to have everyone hear you there. So I'm swearing you in, raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Right? Just gonna make that quick enough. So off the record, just so everyone please be quiet so we can hear the witness. Also, like I mentioned, the transcriptionist is recording what the witness is saying, and that's how the official comment gets to the commission. So if she can't hear what the witness is saying because there's distractions, you're gonna be basically, preventing that person from giving their comments. So I just appreciate everyone being quiet in the room. Also, one other announcement, we do have another room across the hall for customer assistance. So if you have questions about your bill, or if you want to sign up for customer assistance, low-income assistance programs, people are out there willing to help. So if you have an individual question about your bill, or you have a question about the rate case in general, you can seek your answers out there. But in here, we just want to be quiet and listen to the comments. Okay, great, thanks. All right, go ahead, please.
Great. Good evening. My name is Jim Page. I'm the executive director.
Can we, you gotta get the mic closer. Sorry.
Can you hear? Is that better?
Yeah,
Okay. Sorry. Good evening. My name is Jim Page. I'm the executive director of the Milwaukee 7, which is a nonprofit that serves as the economic development entity for all of southeastern Wisconsin. I'm not here to comment directly on the rate case, but want to make you aware of the work that we do with We Energies. So since our founding in 2005, We Energies has been a key strategic partner in our effort to grow the economy in southeastern Wisconsin. Working together with our private and public sector partners, we have successfully closed 120 corporate attraction and expansion projects all across the region. Those projects account for 27,000 jobs and have leveraged more than $3.4 billion in capital investment. I'm especially pleased to report that the average wage for those jobs is more than 20% above the regional average. These are jobs that enable our residents to support their families and gain access to the American dream. Whether it be companies like German gummy bear producer Haribo, which is putting the finishing touches on a $350 million factory in Pleasant Prairie, mining equipment maker Komatsu, which cut the ribbon earlier this year on its new $285 million global mining headquarters and production facility here in Milwaukee, or Milwaukee Tool, which has created nearly 3,000 jobs in our region since the late 2000s. We're proud that the collaborative work we've done with our partners is keeping the Milwaukee region globally competitive and providing career opportunities for our residents, which keeps the entire regional economy humming. We Energies is a vested and lead partner in our efforts and has been with the Milwaukee 7 every step of the way. They have not only been a generous financial supporter of our organization, but have provided board leadership and strategic direction for our many efforts. It's unusual for a week to go by that I'm not talking directly with somebody at We Energies about a project or initiative that will bring jobs and capital investment to our region. We are grateful for the steadfast partnership we have with We Energies, which is helping to keep the economy in southeastern Wisconsin humming and in a dynamic and competitive landscape. Thank you.
All right, thanks for coming. All right, I'm going to read a couple names here so you know you're on deck. So Samantha April Duvas, yeah, okay. Robert Penner and Hayden Harwood. Next. All right, swear you in. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, there you go.
Thank you. My name is Samantha April Dukas. I'm a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation. I'm a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation. I'm urging the Public Service Commission to deny We Energies' request to hike up energy rates by 13% in 2023. They claim this hike is needed to complete the transition and support the transition to green energy. In reality, they only are charging more so that they can, compensate themselves for having to pay off the loan on the closed coal plants. In reality, there's no intent directly to actually transition to cleaner energy, simply for them to line their pockets, so they don't have to take the burden of paying that extra money on the interest for the loans on the coal plant. They aren't actually interested in supporting green energy. They're only interested in their bottom line. And they're using us, the people of the city, of the county, of the state, so that they don't have to urge the cost. They're passing off the cost to us. You know what's already too expensive? What costs already too much? Our healthy bills, our energy bill as it is costs too much. Our food, which is subject to crazy inflation right now, already too high. We can't afford another rate hike from We Energies when they make profits from what should be a public utility. It should not be in the hands of a private company. Energy is a human right and it's a necessity for life. It should not be privately owned so that companies like this can take advantage of the people of Milwaukee. So I'd urge the public service, I'd urge the commission not to accept this rate hike and tell the Energies to take care of it themselves. They've made enough profits off of us for decades, and they can easily manage an extra 13% for their coal plant closing. It's not a burden for them to take on. They should easily take it on. And frankly, people should own the energy production in this country so we can decide easier how to transition to green energy, a future we all need. It should be in our hands to decide, not a private company like We Energies. Thank you.
Thanks. Emily? Hayden Harwood, Erica Stelio is next. All right. So let me swear you in there. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Surely do.
All right, there you go.
Thank y'all. My name is Robert Penner. I'm from the Milwaukee Autonomous Tenants Union. We're an organization here in Milwaukee that fights to decommodify housing and to help people stay in their homes, avoid eviction, and fight back against landlords who are trying to evict them. And we see all across the city that people are experiencing a very, very difficult time affording their housing. Rent is going up, up, up. Even for the poorest, and especially for the poorest people here in the city of Milwaukee, rent's going up. And also for homeowners, your mortgages are going up, your interest rates are going up, your property taxes are going up. So how do they think, how does We Energies think people, especially the poorest people, and let's be frank, people of color here in the city of Milwaukee can afford a 13% increase in the energy bills? It's not, we can't do it. It's not affordable. It's not practical to be pushing these costs off onto the poorest, most oppressed people in this city. It's already hard enough for them. I also don't just want to speak out against the rate hike. I want to speak out against the concept of We Energies as a whole. The entire concept of a private company.
We can go off the record for a second. So like I've been saying, court reporters got to hear the comments. So if you guys interrupt with clapping or booing, whatever you want to do, it's going to slow us down and I'm going to have to interrupt, or your comment's not going to get into the record. So I want to make sure everyone's comment gets in the record accurately. So please, no clapping. I think people were like doing, the clapping in the air. That's great. But if we cannot interrupt, because it's going to slow us down and it may prevent someone from getting their comment into the record. So go ahead. Get back.
Yeah, give me the jazz hands. Where was I leaving off there? Oh, yeah, the entire concept of We Energies. I want to speak for decommodified energy, for energy that is publicly owned, that is free for every single person, right, in this society. People deserve to live a dignified life in a safe, free house with free energy, with everything that they need to live a dignified life. And that means essentially no We Energies. Energy should be public, it should be free, it should be totally decommodified. So, we're out here, the Milwaukee Autonomous Tenants Union is out here advocating not just for free housing and the abolition of landlordism, we're speaking for the abolition of We Energies and the total knocking down of the structures of corporate control of energy. We don't need it. It is unnecessary, and our society would be a lot better off if we did not have We Energies, if we had control over this. And to finish up here, I don't know what they think they're gonna achieve by pushing people further and further and further to the brink of poverty. What do you think you're going to achieve by pushing people out of their homes, by forcing people to live in homes without energy, without lights? I talked on the phone today with a woman that had her electricity turned off, and she can't afford to pay rent and to pay electricity. We go door to door in buildings owned by Yusuf Barada Property Management, and people have extension cords running across the hall into other apartments just so that they can keep their fridge on, because they can't afford to pay rent and pay for energy at the same time. It's outrageous. And you know, when it comes down to it, if you keep pushing people, if We Energies keeps pushing people, people aren't going to take it anymore. We're not going to take it anymore. We are the ones that create all the value in society. We are the ones that make the machines run and make the factories run and produce every ounce of wealth in this society, not them. And they sure as hell need us, but we don't need them. We don't need corporatists. We don't need capitalists. We don't need politicians. We don't need bureaucrats. None of them. We make this society run, and we'll make it run for ourselves if necessary. So to finish up, they better watch out. We Energies better watch out, because if you push people to the brink, then we're going to go over the edge for you. All right, thank you.
All right, thanks for coming. Right, Hayden Howard. Hayden, number 4. All right. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yep.
There you go.
Hi, everyone. So jumping off of what my comrade Robert was just saying, my name is Hayden. I'm a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation and also MATU. I am the kid of someone who worked at the Energies. So I know firsthand that their workers do not get the benefits that they're saying, you know, that they'll be getting with this price hike, with this rate hike. I just want to expand a little bit and say that the workers that actually make the plants run, I called my father a welder. He was an engineer. And he came home tired, back broken, sitting in 105-degree heat in welding tanks, covered head to toe in gear, mandatory overtime. And this is all stuff that sounds like, you know, that's like, oh, it's not that bad. But it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be something that we don't even blink an eye at. Same thing with things like 13% hikes to the energy costs. Energy, we, the workers, make this energy. We, the workers, are the ones who are keeping these factories running. We are the ones that keep society running, and we need to take our power back. So that being said, I am obviously against the rate hikes. Energy, water, all of the utilities, housing should absolutely be in the hands of the people, not for profit. So people over profits.
Thank you. Eric Gilliam, then Mark Borkowski and Kathy Thornton Bias. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
You got it. All right. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Erica Stibe, and I am a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation. I'm here as well to urge the Public Service Commission to deny We Energies the ability to increase our energy bills by 13%. So, like others have said, We Energies is claiming that this increase is necessary to support the transition to green energy. And this is completely absurd, given the fact that they make millions of dollars in profit every single year. They earn the highest profits of all the utilities in the state, and in fact, they are among the top performing utilities on Wall Street. Can I ask you to slow down? Oh, sorry. Yeah. They are among the top performing utilities on Wall Street as well. They are proposing this rate increase to pay off the loan on the coal plants that will soon be shut down. And so they're essentially making us, regular people, pay off their debt. And I don't think we should have to do that. Wisconsin workers are already being squeezed by record high inflation. We all know this. It's harder than ever to pay the rent, to keep the roof over our head, keep food on the table, put gas in the car. And there's just no reason that anyone should have to choose between keeping the lights on or eating. A 13% increase on our energy bills will certainly cascade into more and more crises, including homelessness, health issues, and desperation. And this burden is certain to be heaviest on our Black and brown neighbors who already deal with higher energy costs due to inadequate housing. And this is completely unacceptable. There is no reason for this in a country like this where we have all of these resources and people are still struggling to get by. So we must demand what is essential for our communities to survive and thrive. And we also should reject the idea that we, the people, should be the ones to foot the bill for the switch to green energy to save our planet. We were not the ones who created the climate crisis. We need swift climate action from monopolies like We Energies immediately, and they should be the one to foot the bills. They have massive wealth and they can cover the costs. Our planet is completely priceless. So we need to make the banks and monopolies pay for the solutions that will save the planet. Power production should be to meet the needs of the people and the planet, not the greed of Wall Street utilities and their shareholders. So Public Service Commission, I implore you to listen to the people and reject this increase. And to everyone else in this meeting, I really want to encourage you to unite and fight together with your neighbors, with other grassroots organizations, because it's not going to be We Energies for the Public Service Commission or any of these institutions to grant us the liberation that we need. I dream of a future without energy bills, when common goods like energy are owned and controlled by the people and not a tiny handful of millionaires. We need power for the people and not profit. Thank you.
Then Kathy Thornton Bias. And then after Kathy, Tiffany Stark. All right. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
There you go.
Hi, good evening. First of all, thank you for having this hearing. I am Mark Borkowski. My regular job is I'm a member of the Milwaukee Common Council. I'm Alderman Mark Borkowski from the 11th Aldermanic District. I'm here today for two reasons. I'm here today for myself, and I'm here today for my constituents. Now, I'm not part of any organization, okay? And I respect those views, whatever. But I am here because I consider myself an average person, okay? And I represent a lot of average people. And from a humanistic standpoint, regardless of rationale, 13% increase on anything is outrageous. Okay, regardless of where the money is supposedly going or whatever. In this time, in our era right now, with inflation, the cost of food and cost of gasoline, struggling families are not only struggling, but they're struggling even more, and they will continue to struggle if we go to 13%. Now, as an elected official, and I served both on the Milwaukee County Board and now, as it said, Milwaukee Common Council, there are caps on us as people who vote on your tax levy as to how high we can increase your taxes. And we are limited to about 2.5%. Now, I think most reasonable people, most average people would say 2.5% increase is manageable. Okay, government can do it. Everybody else should also do it. Now, I'm not going to get into the whole monopoly thing. Okay, that's not the issue here tonight. But let me tell you, if We Energies had elected officials, okay, like I'm an elected official, like I'm held accountable as I should be with my votes, whether or not you should reelect me or not, I am held accountable. The problem with monopolies is that nobody gets held accountable, okay? And so that's another reason why I'm begging. 13% is too much. And it's not affordable. And we have to find a way to make it more livable and possible. And that's why I'm here for the average people, because there's too many haves and have-nots, and that chasm is getting too great. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Kathy, Shirley, Bias? You haven't seen it? Oh, they deleted it, yeah, okay. Well, okay, so we had Kathy Thornton Bias, Tiffany Stark, and it looks like Ladette Austin. All up. All right, great. I'm gonna swear you in, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Just need to use the microphone and kind of put it up close. That's great, yeah.
Good evening. My name is Kathy Thornton Bias, and I serve as the president and CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Milwaukee. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Milwaukee has helped local kids and teens since 1887, when we founded our organization in the basement of Plymouth Church on Milwaukee's east side. Today, we are the largest youth serving agency in the city of Milwaukee, and we've grown to be one of the largest Boys and Girls Clubs in the entire country. Every day, we see thousands of Milwaukee's youth streaming through our doors and participating in academic and recreational programming. We provide safety, we provide support during the critical hours of the day, as well as meals, strong adult role models, and organized activities, which our kids oftentimes don't get otherwise. At the clubs, there is always a way for kids to get involved and learn something new. None of this work would be possible without the commitment of our 750 full-time and part-time employees, our passionate volunteers, and dedicated corporate sponsors like We Energy. For many years, We Energies have supported the clubs and our camp, allowing some of Milwaukee's most underprivileged and under-resourced children to get access to the things that they need. Additionally, we benefit from having employees from the We Energies organization and their leadership on our board of trustees, giving us wise counsel and advice when needed. Thank you.
All right, thanks very much. Tiffany Stark. Then, like I said, Ladette Austin, and then Natalie Weiser. Raise your right hand or
Oh,
left
sorry, I'm
hand.
left-handed.
That's so am I. I've
I'm
been
in my
there.
right hand.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, there, grab that.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us. I am Tiffany Stark, and I am a social worker and a community advocate. I work on the front lines. I work with people that are low income, and I work with people that aren't. Every year it's gotten worse and worse, and inflation is going up, and people are struggling to figure out how they're going to pay all these bills. It's to the point where you have to choose, as other people are saying, over food, over lights, over rent. And it's becoming more and more stressful, especially we have to also look at the mental health aspect. A lot of people are struggling with their mental health because of all these stressors, not knowing what to do and how they're going to pay these bills. It also causes physical, medical issues as well that a lot of people don't think about. And the question is, where are these people going to get the money? We Energies may say, oh yeah, there's energy assistance. Come on down, we can help you. Even with energy assistance, you have to understand the formula. And they go by a lot of times what you make before taxes and not what you actually bring home, and then you don't qualify. Also with that, now with all of the increases, even with We Energy or with assist or sorry, yeah. Doesn't mean you're going to be able to afford all of these bills. So we need to really think about the struggles that people are having. Also, I will say that I'm upset with the legislators because you have to look at this. We Energies is the only person or company in this state. There is no competition. We don't have a choice. We're screwed no matter what they want to do to you because they're the only person or the only company in this state. It's kind of like the TV situation. You have two options, and if you get screwed and you got to play the game of going back and forth. It's the same thing. We don't have any options.
And the legislators need to bring in more competition in the state so we have choices. Then we energies will start making some differences when they know there's a competition and that there's gonna be people that, you know, that may be giving other, their residents, consumers, a better rate. So also people are on the budget. And every year they're like, oh, the budget's coming and, oh yeah, it's gonna be cold, it's gonna be really warm, so we need to raise your budget up. Okay, well, we're doing that already, and now you want more money. It's just coming to a point, enough is enough, and we need more competition in the state to get the energy the heck out of here. Thank you.
No, thanks very much. Like that. With that, Austin. Oh, there you are. Thanks. Natalie Wysek, Raphael Gray. All. Okay. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. Can you take your mask off so she can see you speak? That helps her. Okay, great. Thanks.
Read my lips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No new text. All right, go ahead.
Good evening. I just first of all wanted to thank the commission for having this meeting. My name is Ladette Austin. I'm here as a concerned citizen. I also do community outreach for a private company in childcare. So I hear everything. I hear parents that are concerned. They a lot of times don't know where their next meal is coming from, let alone how they're going to pay all their bills. I think, I believe 13% is just astronomical. It's just too much. The residents themselves, I hear all the time, and they're already concerned. We Energies is a private entity, but it's in Milwaukee County that has the monopoly. There are other energies around the state, like Alliant and some others, but for Milwaukee County, those 19 municipalities, they're the only, as they say, horse and buggy act in the town. The budget is not manageable for most people, even though they say, come on down, apply. We've raised the rates. We raised the limit on how much you can make in order to get assistance, but it's still not manageable. Our elected officials, we do need them because they speak for the masses, because all of us just can't be here. And you can see from the people in this room that it should be overflowing, but it's not. I don't know how the word is getting out otherwise, but it should have been standing room only in this room. If the elected officials are not doing what they need to do, then we, the people, we have to vote them out and get somebody that will. The Public Service Commission, I hope you do listen to us. We appreciate that. The cost of inflation, food, gasoline, rent, fuel, housing, mortgages, people that are suffering from COVID that have not even bounced back. The mental stress, as the young lady mentioned previously. We're not saying that We Energies doesn't give that. We're not saying that they don't do some things in the community, but this is too much for the average citizen. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Right, Natalie Wysek, Raphael Gray, Stefani Lohman. Seat. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Nice guys.
Hi, my name is Natalie Wysek. I am here to disagree with the high proposed increase. The proposed rate increase focuses solely on the returns and shareholders and disagrees and disregards key stakeholders, the users and customers, as well as the impact on the customers. The transition to clean energy has to include those most impacted. This higher than average increased rate, this magnitude is not fair to those already struggling to make ends meet and comes at a time that's with already forecasted increases of heating costs this winter. We Energies residential customers already pay the highest bills of any residential customers in the state, and Wisconsin rates are on average the second highest in the Midwest. I also support the testimony of the Citizens Utility Board and Clean Wisconsin in this case that demonstrates that the return on equity has been too high and has been allowed to be too high for too long. Profit has increased $1 billion over so far this year, and the company clearly isn't struggling, but customers continue to struggle to make ends meet and cannot afford this increase. I'm upset that We Energies has flipped support and flipped focus from the customers to big corporations, allowing for smaller increases for large corporations and putting the larger share of the burden and the increases on its customers. Thank you.
Thanks very much. No, Raphael Gray. Stephanie Lohman, Ben Molich, it looks like. There's some more, I don't know. Okay. Oh, specific. All right. There's a, oh wait, there's Gray. There's also Gray, Raphael Gray. No? All right, I'll put him on the side and we'll check back. Come on. Up. Swear you in? Do you swear or affirm? Tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
And yeah, right there.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Lohman. I am the Vice President of the WFNHP Nurses Union at the Milwaukee VA and a member of the Milwaukee DSA, former executive board member there. And I am here representing myself today. I wanted to say that the working class in Milwaukee is rising. I mean, all you have to do is look around you and see all the people who are here representing the citizens. These folks showed up to take We Energies to task. The PSC has an appointed board, and you should take notice. Human beings have some basic needs: shelter, water, energy, and healthcare. All of these things are commodified here in the US. What that means is that we have to go to work. We have to sell our labor to pay for things that we cannot live without. So this exorbitant rate hike means that we have to work more. And I don't want to work more. I want to work less. And what I certainly don't want to do is work harder to line the pockets of corporate profiteers. Some folks here point to the good work that We Energies does in the community. That's just money laundering disguised as philanthropy. And the worst part about all of this is that we don't even get a choice. You know, We Energies is the only shop in town. And the PSC has been complicit in continuing to squeeze the working class year after year. What we need is for the PSC to reject this rate hike. And what we need is a publicly owned utility so that we stop being had by these corporate rules. The We Energies board, Kurt C. Culver, mortgage investor, Danny L. Cunningham, works at Deloitte & Touche, director of Enerpac, William Farrell, a banker, Christy Garcia Thomas, C-suite at Advocate Aurora, Maria Green, Ingersoll and Rand legal counsel, director at Littelfuse, another energy company, director at Tennant and Company. Gail Kappa, former CEO at We Energies, director at Associated Bank Corp, director Badger Meter. Thomas Lane, investment banker, Energy Capital Partners. Scott Lauber, president and CEO of We Energies in Michigan, a whole bunch of Michigan utilities. Ulisse Payne, a lawyer, a founder at Addison and Clifton, director at Manpower, director at Foot Locker. Mary Ellen Stanek, Baird financial investor, trustee at Northwestern Mutual Life. Glenn E. Tellett, CEO, former CEO at Lakeside Foods, a director at Aztec, director at Badger Meter. The PSC, Rebecca, worked for We Energies. Does this seem fair to any of you? Because it seems pretty unfair to me. So it's the fox guarding the hen house, and they're just squeezing the working class from the middle. And so at a certain point, what else can you get out of us? And so I hope that the PSC makes some common sense decisions on what they do, because now it's labor coming too, right? Because I don't want to work.
I don't want to work like a dog until I'm 75 years old to pay for something that I can't live without. We live in Wisconsin. Nobody should be without heat or energy at all during the year. So this summer, my neighbor Bob, who is an 84-year-old man, installed his first central air conditioning unit after owning his house since 1959. The first day that it was hot, I called Alderman Borkowski, and I'm so proud that he's here representing his constituents, because our neighborhood was without power for days. So what a gut punch for you to finally get yourself a central air unit when you're on your way out of this world, only to have it not work. And when we called We Energies, they told us that our neighborhood was better off than others, and that we're about 7 years down from upgrades. So this company made $1 billion, but they have no interest in upgrading our public infrastructure, because that means less money for their shareholders. Their share just increased by 17%. And one thing that drives that up is knowing that they're going to bilk us out of another 13%. So the average person is going to see a $20 increase on their bill. Doesn't really seem like that much, but spread over 1.1 million customers in their catchment means that that is a ton of money. That's a ton of money that we could use to do better things in our community. And so I hope that everyone here will look up Power to the People campaign. There's a lot of work being done in our communities to publicize our energy, because we wouldn't have conversations like this. We wouldn't be sitting in this great mid-century senior center bitching at the PSC to do what they know is right, but they probably won't do anyway because they're greedy, because greed is the devil. So I hope that you do what is right. Thank you.
Thanks. Can I take that paper? For the name? Thank you, Mo. All right. Swear you in. All right. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Yes, I do. There you go.
Hi, my name is Ben Mueller, and I'm a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation.
I'm sorry, member, I didn't. It's a member of
The Party for Socialism and Liberation. Thanks. The Public Service Commission should deny the request for a 13% rate hike. We Energies is already the most profitable utility company in the state of Wisconsin, and one of the most profitable utility companies in the country. They have the money to transition to green energy if that's what they want. What this increase really amounts to is We Energies trying to stick hardworking people with the bill. The people of Wisconsin are the ones who provide We Energies with their massive profits. And when there's a chance to give back to the people who make them rich, the company should be footing the bill with a smile, not trying to dig deeper and deeper into our pockets. We're already watching inflation eat away more and more at our paychecks each year, while prices keep rising for necessities like the rent that we have to pay to keep a roof over our heads, the groceries that we need to live, and the gas that many of us need to get to work and make those paychecks to begin with. Expenses like those are unavoidable, and too many people are already struggling with the necessity to pay 13% more every month so that their power company can maintain its profit margins. We've already heard some previous speakers, and as we can see, We Energies has the money to be generous with some local organizations. And I'm sure that that's something that they're doing entirely out of the kindness of their big, warm corporate heart. My question is, when they're clearly making enough money to make flashy donations in convenient places, why do they need the help of normal, working people to pay their own business costs? Wisconsin needs to move toward cleaner energy, and when it's time to pay for that transition, the simple fact is that We Energies has the money and we, the people, don't. The fact that we're having this conversation at all is evidence that running Wisconsin's energy, or any other vital service for that matter, is a task that's far too important to be left up to private companies seeking profit. We need publicly owned utilities that we can collectively hold accountable. If democracy is good enough to decide who runs your city, it should be good enough to decide whether your fridge works. Thank you.
Artani Saha. Getting that right? S-H-A. There we go. Then we have Alexa Safer and Victoria Gillette. All right, there you go. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right. So I'm gonna give you a microphone. There you go.
Greetings. I am a medical student at the Medical College of Wisconsin. My name is Harini Shah. I serve on the board of directors of the Milwaukee Medical Society. I'm here representing myself. I have the privilege to treat patients and citizens of Milwaukee on a daily basis. My job is to hear their stories, what brought them to the hospital, and help find a treatment for their ailments. Last week, I walked into the hospital room of a female patient in her 50s with chest pain. She looked somnolent, pained. In her story, I learned that she has chronic lung disease and needs 24/7 home oxygen for her body to survive. Growing up, she had asthma. Her parents struggled to meet their energy bills, so during the winter, she struggled to control her breathing. Her wheezing was terrible. Now that she's on home oxygen, she's completely dependent on an adequate energy system to survive. She was recently evicted and lives with her sister now. Her sister also struggles to make ends meet. She told me that the only way she could ensure that she gets home oxygen for the night is by coming to the hospital. Behind these stories is in fact a real person and real people who should have access to the minimal needs to survive. If We Energies increases their energy rates, my patient will continue to face this difficult decision of choosing between her energy bill and medical care. It's not fair to her and all of my other energy dependent patients, and I'm speaking on behalf of them. Here's the bottom line. This proposal is rushed. We Energies knows that the deadline is coming up, and they're using a backdoor, the benefit of time, to approve this rate change. The company itself, in its brief, declared that they did not read through all information from interveners in this case. That is by definition negligent. I urge the PSC to deny the current proposal for a 13% rate increase for 2023 and require the Energies to resubmit a new proposal for next year, provided that they read through in its entirety all information from this case's interveners, Clean Wisconsin and Walnut Way. January is only a month away. Thank you.
Victoria Gillett. Alexa Safer, right? Did I get that?
Yeah, Alexa, safe.
Jennifer Abel. All right, swear you in. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
There you go.
Hi, I'm Alexa Safer. I am not with any group or anything like that tonight, but I am just here as a single mom and a working person. First of all, I obviously want to say that I am urging the PSC to deny this rate hike. I have had my electricity turned off before in the past, and it's such a heartbreaking thing to happen with your children in the house and all the food in your fridge goes bad and you don't have food stamps for a week and a half to replace it. It's like this hole you get into, and you're always in debt to We Energies, and it just never seems like you can get out. I do get the assistance, the energy assistance, but it's never enough. And I feel like this latest job I took, where I'm making $25 an hour, it sounded so good. And every little bit of extra of that has been eaten up in the last 6 months with the rise of cost of food and gas and rent and just literally everything, clothing for my growing children. And there's no way that I would be able to absorb a 13% rate increase. Personally, I don't know what I would do. I don't understand why We Energies expects the working class and the poor of the city to pick up the tab to clean up the mess that they made. We're not making 13% more. Where are we supposed to get the money? They wanted this business. They should deal with the cost of
running it. Taking it from the massive profit maybe that they're raking in would be a good idea. And instead of trying to squeeze us poor and working people out of the little bit that we have left at the end of the month. The last thing that I want to say is that we should decommodify electricity and energy because it's a human right, it's a human necessity. And I'm really appreciative of everybody that showed up because as a working person, I know how hard it is to come to these things after you work a whole day and you're taking care of your kids and you got to leave them home alone to do whatever they're going to do so that you could just try to have your voice heard. It's a lot easier to just be like, well, I'm going to stay home tonight because I'm exhausted. So to everyone that showed up tonight, thank you and solidarity.
Jennifer, Abel, and Alexa looks like Nutil, N-U-T-I-L. Yeah. So I just want to mention, we do have a significant number of comments still to go through, and we have that time deadline here for tonight at about 8:15. So just want to please keep your comments shorter. I want to give everyone a chance to comment if they can, but just try to be succinct. So let's get started with our next one. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Thank you. Oh gosh, with this mask.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
better.
All right. So I do want to start by saying thank you to the Public Services Commission for letting us be back in person. This is the first in-person PSC event that I've been able to attend since I started attending these, and it is really inspirational to have everybody here together talking, and we can meet each other, and it just feels really, really nice. So I'm really very thankful for that. My name is Akira Gile. I'm here today speaking on behalf of myself, but based on the foundation of the work that I do with the Wisconsin Health Professionals for Climate Action and the American College of Physicians, we in all of those groups believe that climate change is the greatest threat to the health of the human race, and that the structure of our societies controls the health of the individuals that we are. And so it's the mission of those organizations to go out and figure out what are the policies that best benefit public health. And I'm here today to say that this 13% rate increase is not one of those policies. I know that my patients require both the excellent care that I provide as a primary care physician, but also a healthy environment for them to live in. If their environment isn't healthy, then it doesn't matter how many medicines I prescribe, how many specialists I send you to, what tests I give you, you will never be well, regardless if that's not set up. And I would say also, that I'm a stopgap measure in that circumstance. And all of these really wonderful nonprofits that We Energies is giving money to, I work for 4 nonprofits, right? I'm not saying they shouldn't exist in our current universe, but they are also stopgap measures. If people could afford to stay in their homes, you wouldn't have to send your kids to the Boys and Girls Club. And that would be the world that I want to live in. I'm a primary care physician in downtown Milwaukee, and We Energies has an astonishing impact on my patients' health. They've got coal plants 20 miles from my clinic that spew cancer and asthma-causing toxins into the air. They're doubling down on burning methane gas that hastens climate change. And this public utility wants more of our money to support these practices that are so damaging to our public health. These price increases will in and of themselves cause even more problems for our community's health, as every individual here has already spoken to their personal experience so clearly. But I can also speak to individual patients because they tell me these problems all the time in the safety of our relationship. I have a patient who's blind and on dialysis, whose home is so poorly insulated that she has to run her oven for heat in the winter. She should have energy efficient windows, not a 13% higher gas bill. Another patient has such severe asthma that in the heat of summer, he can barely breathe. He can't afford to run air conditioning, so he closes his blinds, closes his windows, and sits unmoving in a dark room, essentially the entire summer. He should have an energy efficient heat pump, not a 13% higher electricity bill.
At a time when other utilities are moving toward renewable energy and electrification, We Energy seems determined to drag our health backward. And in the defense of human health, I ask the Public Services Commission to deny this rate increase. Thanks.
Thank you. Alexa Luto. And coming up, it's Senator, it's like more. I can't see the, okay, I couldn't read that. All right, great. Well, you know, you'll come up to third. All right. Yes. Oh, that person. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a little confusing. I see. Okay, thanks. All right, let me swear you in. You swear or affirm to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, there you go.
My name is Jennifer Abel, and I'm representing myself, but I'm also a volunteer with the Great Waters Group of the Sierra Club. And I've spoken at many public hearings before. When I do, I typically focus my remarks on the deleterious impacts that proposed actions or projects will have on the environment and on climate change.
Yeah. Ask me to slow down a little because she's
Oh,
trying to keep up with
yep.
stuff.
I decided to take a different approach this time and turn instead to my professional role as an expert on financial capability and financial security. It's no surprise that when people have trouble meeting their financial obligations, they experience increased stress. What may be less known is the impact that stress can have on family members and others close to the individuals experiencing financial hardship. In a 2018 study, researchers Yurong Liu and Darcy Merritt found that children living in families with high financial stress experienced higher internalizing behaviors than those in families with low financial stress. Internalizing behaviors, by the way, include depressive disorders, anxiety disorders, and teenage suicide. In a 2016 study, Lucero et al. Found that women who experience high levels of economic hardship over time had the highest odds of experiencing intimate partner violence. On the heels of a historic pandemic and in the midst of the worst inflation our country has seen in 40 years, many people are struggling to cover the cost of basic necessities like housing, food, and utilities. Raising electricity by 13% right now is like pouring salt in a wound. We Energy is already known for dragging its feet on taking steps to mitigate and prevent climate change. Do they really want to also be known as a major contributor to increased financial stress that leads to childhood depression and anxiety and more domestic violence? Instead of deepening the financial troubles of ratepayers, I urge the Public Services Commission to deny We Energy's request for the rate increase, and also to for We Energies to do the right thing by expanding energy efficiency programs, expanding eligibility for the LIFT program, and increasing access to renewable energy. We've got a great opportunity right now to take action on combating energy burden instead of continuing the painful cycle of disconnection and reconnection that so many Milwaukee families experience. Please work together with the organizations and communities represented here in this room tonight to be a leader on environmental and economic justice instead of a perpetrator of instability. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Alexa. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Thank you. So I just wanted to say that I'm really not happy that we all have to be here tonight. I'm really tired. I just worked all day and I'm hungry. And I came straight from work. And so I want to just give a shout out to all the people who are here tonight. I'm really proud of you. We shouldn't have to be here. So I want to urge the PSC to deny the request for the rate raise of We Energies. But the reason I'm here is because I'm I'm also tired of paying these exorbitant bills. I am tired of hearing about my friends and neighbors not being able to pay their bills. I'm tired of having to donate to GoFundMe's to help my neighbors get something that is an essential, that is a necessity to live life. You need energy for just about everything. You need it to cook, to preserve your food. You need it for heat. You need it for AC. You need it to do your homework. You need it to use your phone and charge your devices, including medical devices. And it should be a public good, and it should be for the people, and it should be at a low, affordable cost. It's just condemning all of us to struggling even harder to meet ends meet. It's a necessity, like I said, and it is a necessity because we require all these things to live healthy lives. It's a social determinant of health to have things like shelter and energy. And so it's reducing our social determinants of health. And what's happening is that it is reducing our life expectancy. The life expectancy of people in the United States is going down. And the last time I checked, it's not a crime to deny people of these essential items, but it should be. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I presume that the Public Service Commission exists, is to protect the interests of the people who need these things to survive. And I also wanted to say, I am also an educator that has worked in nonprofits, and I am just frankly disgusted by We Energies using their philanthropy as an excuse and a reason why they should not be held accountable. These organizations should be funded. Don't get me wrong, they should be funded, and they should be funded publicly as well, quite frankly, by our government. And so don't force us to choose between youth services and energy. These are essential things. We need both of them. And it's really disgusting and really manipulative to have people come up here and tell us that we should choose youth services and philanthropy over energy, which we need to survive. Thank you.
Thanks. All right, so I may have gotten some people, did I call Richard Diaz? Okay, so I think you're actually, I think I messed up the order though. So Richard Diaz, and then the senator, and then Francisca Dawson. I called you before, didn't I?
I don't think so.
Okay, I thought I said.
Nope.
All right, so let me swear you in. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Tell the truth.
That's go ahead.
All right, thank you. So, so many good comments this evening, and it is really hard to top anything that's been said, but it's not a show. So maybe my testimony can serve as some reinforcement. I'm fully against the Public Service Commission approving any form of a rate hike, let alone a 13% increase. For Black and brown folks from Milwaukee who are labeled as energy burden, you know, we pay some of the highest energy bills with the oldest housing stock. It is unfortunate that the system and utility of energy in our state of Wisconsin and southeastern Wisconsin benefits the rich and the wealthy. You know, it's unfortunate that every year a rate hike is imposed that We Energies gets their way. You know, even from pre-pandemic levels to now, energy bills have skyrocketed. But how is that so when the profitability of the utility and the shareholders has skyrocketed? That makes very little sense, and the only rationale behind it is you want to make your wealth off the backs of people that can't afford energy prices. The testimony we've heard today has mostly been against
the rate increase, and it's from working class, Black and brown folks who just can't foot an increase in their bill. The folks that have been in support of We Energies have been folks that receive money from We Energies. It's unfair and it's not right, and it has to stop now. And I encourage the Public Service Commission to continue in dialogue with ratepayers to see how We Energies can actually do more. You know, We Energies has the profit margins to give a 13% reduction in energy bills to the next 40, 50 generations of people. So again, I am solidly against the rate increase, and thank you for allowing me to give my testimony.
Senator, please come up. A representative, I'm sorry. Why am I getting this wrong? I'm just getting everything wrong.
I think Senator Johnson would be opposed to you.
Right, I'm sure. All right, well, thank you for waiting, and let me swear you in. Swear or affirm, tell the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. I do. All right, here you go.
Thank you. Can you?
Yeah, you just gotta get it close up.
My, oh, sorry, my check.
There you go.
Okay, good. So first and foremost, there has been some great testimony here today, and I want to affiliate myself with much of what has already been stated. I am here, my name is Supreme Moore Omakunde, and I'm here representing the people of the 17th Assembly District. I am also a member of the Assembly's Energy and Utilities Committee, and I am asking the Public Service Commission to deny We Energy's request in the rate hike. It is ridiculous. And I'm sure in the next couple of weeks, or I'll get an email asking me to be sensible and giving me all types of reasons that they need this 13% increase, especially in January, when people are going to be suffering from cold and need to warm their homes. We need to be looking to get to zero emissions as ASAP. By 2030, we need to be at least by half. By 2050, we need to be at zero. And one of the reasons that we need to reject this request is for several. One, they are recording record profits, as you have already heard from other people's testimony. They're getting record profits, and the first thing that they seem to be doing is increasing the salary of executives. Second, one, and two, and the other reason is that we have a $5.4 billion surplus in the state right now, and there should be conversations about how we can assist those who are paying, these high absorbent bills right now, instead of bailing out this utility company and putting it on the backs of the people who they are serving. All costs are raising. Prices on everything are raising. Everyone is raising the cost of everything simply because they can. We cannot, as a general note, we cannot continue to hide behind inflation and supply chain and phrases like that to tell people that we have to raise their costs. And much of it, they're simply making up for the money that they lost during the throes of the pandemic. And we cannot continue to put everything on the backs of the people who are purchasing. We need to move away from dependence on fossil fuels and focus on closing. We Energies needs to focus on closing the coal-fired plants that they have and moving towards renewable energy. That should be the focus that we have. We need We Energies to recommit to closing the coal-fired plants. We need to make sure that they're doing it in a timely manner and not saying, oh, we need more of an extension, we need an extension. And we can't raise rates to say that we're trying to move to greener infrastructure either. We have the dollars coming from the Inflation Reduction Act and other monies. We need to be moving closer to a greener infrastructure, period. I asked the Public Service Commission to reject this request for a rate hike. Thank you.
Francesca Dawson. Then Jose, looks like Guerrero. And Patricia Schmidt. Close to that. All right, Francesca, raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, there you go.
Hi, I'm Francesca Dawson.
No, you just gotta get closer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Francesca Dawson, and I come to this committee asking for you not to increase. But I also come with a possible solution to the problem. I don't just look at a problem, I look for a solution to the problem. I'll give you a little background of myself real quick. I live in the city of Milwaukee, actually live in the Walnut Way, Lindsay Heights area. In 2021, I invested in solar panels and I put those solar panels on my roof of my garage. There was a group by program at the time that a group of people bought solar panels at the same time, which caused the cost to go down of the purchase of solar panels, which had the company give me back over $800, which had Focus on Energy give me $500, which had the federal government give me a $7,000 credit. Okay. What I am proposing to We Energy is that you do a beta test. Before you do an increase of anything, is that you do a beta test. Have you ever thought of a solar farm? You do it for the large corporations. Have you thought about it for the residents? Have you thought about, there is that energy bill that's out there that just been passed by the feds. You're subject to get those credits. If you put solar panels on low-income houses in the city of Milwaukee, the energy that is not used by the residents go back into the grid. So you're getting energy back from your investments on the houses of low-income families. Number one, you do have nice programs like time of use for those families that are working during the day, that they can get a lower energy cost at night. There's those weatherization programs. The issue that I have as a landlord, when I'm working with my tenants, now my tenants and I have an agreement, I will not go up on their rent, and I will work with you guys on the energy part of it, because some of them can't get in the program because they need that deposit. For you to get your money back from the people that cannot pay you, if they have the solar panels, their costs are cheaper. Therefore, the problem that people are having is they're going on the budget cost is high, and they still owe you money from what they used before. If you have a solar farm, I can't speak for Lindsay Heights or Walnut Way because I'm not on the board or in the committee, but I do live in the neighborhood. Maybe you can work with a nonprofit organization, put solar panels on the houses and work that way. I strongly recommend that you work with the landlords with these houses, because there are residents who have a hard time paying the utilities, managing their money because of stress, because of mental health, illness. I have residents in my house and some of my properties that have a mental health illness. They cannot follow those programs all the way through to the end to get the full benefit of it. Is that your problem? Maybe not, but I'm asking you not to increase the utilities for at least, come back to them later in about 3 years. Let's test this out. Let's put solar panels. You get the federal tax credit. Let's put solar panels on the low-income houses and see what that do. You got project managers. You can run statistics. Let's see what we find by using this energy, this newfound energy by solar panels. For example, my bill now with that is less than $100, where before I'm paying $200, $300, and I have a fairly new house. So I can't even imagine what people are paying and their houses are not. Did the same thing on my parents' house in Georgia. The bill for solar panels, the bill came back last month at $1.90. So I'm asking We Energy to invest in the community in which we live. And I feel strongly that you will get your money back without doing this 13% increase.
Thanks very much. All right, next up is There we are. Then Patricia and Geneva Jones. And that's all the slips I have so far. So if we have more coming in, let me know. Let me swear you in. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Swear. All right, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Jose. I am honestly angry that this is even being proposed. 13% is ridiculous, and let's be honest, we will not see better service. Most of that 13% will not go to the working people. It will not go to the workers. Most of it will go to those that are already wealthy. So it is absurd that we should raise 13% just so they can afford their super yachts again. Most of the people here dream of having a better tomorrow. Everyone wants to see a life where it's a little easier to survive, you know? And when we're talking about the profits of a company in a state that needs energy to survive the cold northern winters, how is that even, why is profit the first thing that comes up? That shouldn't be the way it is. We should be thinking about how we can make this a public service, how we can help people, how we can help those people that are suffering the most, those that can't pay, that feel the cold in the winter the most. We shouldn't be talking about 13%. We shouldn't be talking about money. We should be talking about helping each other and making something better. Because I am tired of people talking about going big or giving up. I'm tired of people talking about who's going to win that 1.5 billion in the jackpot, when more people should be here talking about things that affect all of us. I'm just appalled that this is even something that we have to spend our evening talking about. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
All right, I'll swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? There you go.
My name is Patricia Sumnick. Now, I am able to pay my bills because I have a pension and I've got Social Security. But I'm really resentful of the fact that We Energies can make a 10% profit and are raising our bills by 13%. Corporate profits are causing inflation, and We Energies is just piling on. For a utility to take advantage of us when we have no other way to get our energy is outrageous. Corporate profits are at an all-time high. Corporate profits are driving inflation, and We Energies is contributing to this. When We Energies CEOs can make $1 million a year from a public utility, that is obscene. So I'm going to make it short and sweet. Please deny this rate increase.
Geneva Jones. Geneva Jones. Ah, there we go. Swear you in, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Grab the mic. There you go.
Okay, I'd like to say,
Can you just put the mic a little closer?
I'd like to say that I oppose this rate increase. I'd like to say that I am here as a citizen, and that I am I will support Water and Waste's decision to oppose this energy rate increase and any settlement around it. I'll give you a couple of stories and I'll make them quick. You have a grandmother who is going to bed at night in the winter
with a flannel pajama set on, socks, a fuzzy house coat, and blankets on top of her. So that when and if her grandbabies come by, that she can then turn on the heat for them, so she can afford that bill or to pay that bill at the end of the month. Because as you know, they keep going up. I received a bill at one point for $499 that month. 1 month for $499. They talk about a 6% rate increase. They didn't ask me, they didn't come to me to ask me what my income was. Because that wasn't a 6% increase. That was a 50%. And I tell you another situation. The weatherization, this winter, this weatherization, they came to my home and they talked about how the bricks are staggered in the wall. So they couldn't give insulation. They couldn't put insulation in the wall. Never once did they offer to fix windows. They didn't say anything about the light that comes shining through the door because the door was off tilted. They didn't mention, oh, well, we can't do that. However, we can put solar panels maybe on the top of her house. Let's check out her roof. They just wanted to come in, send some people to check a box and get paid. Well, I called in on those people to say, this is what I didn't get. And the response that I received from the weatherization people was, first I called Re-Energy, then they gave me the number to the weatherization people. And believe me, this is a nightmare trying to figure out who's on first, who's on second, whatever that's all about. That I need to call the company that came in and did the weatherization because they came to my house. And I said to the lady, why should I have to contact someone you approved? I didn't approve them. I wouldn't have chose those people. And she said, well, you have the right. And I'm saying, well, you didn't give me that right and you didn't give me that offer. So you find them. And believe it or not, nobody is accountable and it was dead in the water. This is the kind of partnerships that We Energy has taken upon themselves. And I am so doggone tired of it. I'm so tired of We Energy coming in, talking about what they need, what their wants are. During this time of inflation, the cost of living raises, we went through a pandemic, and these people have, but could have a heart. They just don't know where it is. They can't find it because it's lost in their stockholders, not their stakeholders. And I am tired of that, for real. And We Energy can get on board with us, or we can just keep having problems with one another. And that's not good for anybody. So the lady that mentioned the solar panels, I would have loved it if We Energy had an option for that. But in the city of Milwaukee, or where Black and brown people are living, where they're underserved, where there's urban communities, where there's poor people all over, We Energy will only have a lift program as the one person said, with limited numbers. Will they bring their pilot programs down like the solar panels? No, you don't see them in the city of Milwaukee. Everyone who has them and who has mentioned them said they had to buy them. They had to figure out a way as a group to afford them. We Energy is not giving back anything. When We Energy offers you the lift program, as many have said, if you miss one day and pay it the next day, if they are not feeling good that day, or the stocks don't match, or they didn't find them in the laundry or whatever, they can just cut you off. And that's not humanity. That's greed, that's capitalism. And if We Energy would like to go on record to say that they're diverting from their customers, that they're taking the equity from them, that they're taking the value from them, that they do not value us,
then Red Energy is gonna see a whole lot more PSC. They're gonna see a whole lot more. And we're fighting their monopoly right now to get other systems in here. So I thank you, Commissioner, for having this for us, for hearing us out. But please do not give these folks and their stockholders off the top of whatever lawsuit goes through that 10% $1 million. That's ridiculous. When they can put that back into the community. So thank you for your time.
Danielle, please, Chris. And then Elizabeth, and then we have Elizabeth Ward, and that's our last slip here. So Danielle and Elizabeth Ward. Is Danielle here? All right. Okay, I guess we'll take Elizabeth next. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
And you're speaking on your individual capacity.
Yeah. No, I don't usually get to speak.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Thank you to both of you for being here and for allowing this opportunity. We've heard a lot tonight, so I'm just going to add a few points on it because people have spoken so eloquently. We Energies is trying to make this rate case about customer affordability versus clean energy, but we know that's not true. And in fact, we know that clean energy and energy efficiency is the solution to so many of the problems we've heard about tonight.
Have to slow down.
Oh, sorry. What we do know is that during the 2019 rate case, it was found that shutting down the Oak Creek power plant would save customers $75 million. We Energies recently announced they're going to keep this power plant online. We know that We Energies is not moving forward with clean energy, and certainly not fast enough. We Energies recently received a grade D from a report we put out about their transition. And We Energies has doubled down on fossil fuels and proposed gas plant conversions, new gas facilities, and storage facilities. For one of these facilities, the gas storage facility in Ixonia, it was found that We Energies could more cheaply fund a weatherization and energy efficiency program than build the facility, saving ratepayer money, reducing energy use, and if targeted at the right communities, reducing energy burden. They chose to move forward with the facility instead. We know they've ignored residents' calls to fund weatherization programs that would reduce energy burden while reducing the needs for energy or for We Energies, saving every We Energies customer's money. And we know that they made all of these decisions claiming it was about reliability, but seemingly don't care about reliability or keeping the lights on of the people we've heard today. And now they're asking for a massive increase to their rates. When we've all stood together this summer and called on We Energies to reduce their increase and fund programs that will support the neighbors we're hearing about today, We Energies responded by increasing their rate request even more and are now asking for 13%. We know that this is a red herring and we hope the commissioners recognize that as well. 13% is too high and their original 8% request is also too high. This is not okay. So I hope that the commission will ignore the fallacy We Energies is trying to put forward that we can't have affordability and action on climate change and instead hold them accountable. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. So there were 2 appearance slips given to me. The people didn't come up yet. So it was Rafael Gray and Diane Schuster. Anybody there? Okay. Just want to make sure. All right, so that's all the slips I have. Any other slips by the table? You can add it just for a minute. Yeah, 2 seconds. Okay. Come back up. You have to give us your name and remember you're under oath. Just give us your name. Make sure.
Tiffany Stark. So 2 things that came to mind. I just want people to understand that We Energies will say we can't shut off your gas and heat until April 1st, but it's very cold in April. And every year there's been people that have died that were frozen to death. And also, you know, with using ovens and extension cords where there's house fires and people die. So that's important to note. And one other thing is The money that they are giving to these organizations or these nonprofits to look good is our money. It's not their money.
Other comment? Okay, uh-oh, better double check there. Okay, looks like Kyle Giese. Giese. You did write something on the bottom. I don't know. Kyle, are you here? All right. Sign. Okay, well, seeing no other slips, I think we're gonna. Oh yeah, go ahead, come on. Yeah. And who are you?
Danny Schuster.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Danny Schuster. Danny.
You can take your mask off for
I'd prefer not
commenting.
to.
Okay,
Okay.
it may be a little trickier for her to hear you. How about just scooch closer to her? Maybe that'll help. Yeah, we should have the microphone. Okay, let me swear you in first. So do you swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
All right, so just try to speak right into the mic.
Sure. Hi, my name is Danny, and I'm speaking on behalf of myself. But I'm here today because I wanted to share a little bit about my experiences. I worked for the state's energy efficiency program, Focus on Energy, which is overseen by the PSC. Yes, I'm sorry. I work for Focus on Energy, which is the state's investor-owned utility-funded energy efficiency program. And I'm here today to urge the PSC not to increase gas and electric rates for the people of Milwaukee, the We Energy's customers. What I would really like to share is that I help process the applications for people who are applying for rebates for furnaces, boilers, home insulation, things like that. And the program offers income qualified, they call them rebates and incentives, but really it's ratepayers' money that is decided to be returned to you all in the form of rebates if you get like a new energy efficient furnace or dual fuel heat pump installed in your home. And what I really just want to say is that we get calls every day from people throughout the state. It's funded by 106 utilities throughout the state. And I just feel really disgusted, and I was moved today to come here to urge you not to increase gas and electric rates. I'm like flabbergasted that this is even a proposal. We get calls every day from people like desperate for help. And then we refer them to like WEEP and these other programs that aren't properly funded. There's nothing for people. This rate increase is going to kill people. Like, it's actually absurd. I can't believe it's even a proposal. It just really disturbs me that this is something that's even being considered. You know, just as an example, like I'm relatively new to the position, might not be working there for long, I don't know. But basically, like, we get calls from people saying like, my furnace is broken, like I can't breathe, we have no heat in the home, and we, you know, act really empathetic and refer them to other agencies that don't have money. It's really like mind-boggling that we're doing this performance, and we know that, you know, that these fossil fuel companies could easily fund these projects that they committed to without like human sacrifices. It's pretty wild. It's pretty disturbing. And I just have to say, like, you know, I didn't really read through my notes because I'm nervous right now, but I just think I just think that you do have a choice, and you don't actually have to, like, you don't have to do this. It's pretty scary by the time like 2050 comes around or whatever, and it's just like hard to breathe, and like our beautiful world is just even more degraded. Like, you will have contributed to like so much human suffering that doesn't need to happen. So you just shouldn't do that. Like, just don't raise rates on people.
All right. So that's all the slips I have. Does anyone else wish to make a comment that hasn't spoken yet? Okay, not seeing anybody. So we'll get set to adjourn. I want to thank everyone for joining us. I want to thank Washington Senior Center for hosting us. And I hope we will have all your comments. We'll forward those to the commission. They will use them as part of their decision-making process. So trust that they will hear you, and I'm glad we could have you come today. So thanks everyone for participating and coming out. Take care.